Hello, and welcome to MME 2305, that is Material and Energy Balance, and we're here to talk about some simple Excel functions. And so we start off with our Excel spreadsheet, and so we have lot, and we have UTS for each lot in megapascals. So you can imagine you're working at a steel mill. You take a sampling of material from each lot, and you take a tensile test specimen, and you record the ultimate tensile strength values somewhere, and you want to analyze the data. So one of the things that we do to analyze data is we perform some simple statistical analysis on the data. One common thing that we may want to do is we want to understand the average ultimate tensile strength per lot. So to calculate that, we can set up a little table here on the side that records all of our data. So we can type in average, and we want to get the average of our ultimate tensile strength. So anytime you want to enter a formula in Excel, you start off with equal, and then you can just type in the function you wish to type in. So we want to know average, and then you enter a parenthesis, and then you highlight all of your data points that you want, and then close parenthesis, and then simply hit enter. So we can see here that for our sample set of 10 lots, we have an average of 45.5 megapascals. So as we've talked about in class, just taking the average isn't enough to really monitor your process. One of the things we talked about in terms of monitoring your process was understanding the range of our data. So range, of course, is the maximum value minus the minimum value. I know this data set is small, but in the real world, a lot of times data sets are quite large. So we're using this as an example. To find the minimum value, so we can calculate our range, we can say here what we're going to insert in the adjacent data cell. So minimum, again, we are entering a function. So we type in min, and again, we type in min, and then we highlight our data, and then close parenthesis. And so the minimum ultimate tensile strength value was 24. The end goal of this is calculating range, so we want to know our max value. And so this equals max is the range, or is the value we're looking for in calculating our range. Close parenthesis. So our maximum value was 60 megapascals, and we want to know what our range is here. Range. And so there is no Excel function for range, but we know from class that range equals maximum minus the minimum value. And so our maximum is in this data cell, so we can type in equal, and then minus, and then the value for our minimum, and simply hit enter. And so 36. So we have a range of 36 megapascals. The other value, or the other analysis we want to perform is we can look at the standard deviation of this value, or of this data set, and so that is simply, and again, there's multiple Excel functions or different flavors of standard deviation. We just want to type in STD DEV, okay, and then we highlight all of our value here, all of our values, and simply hit enter. The last thing we wanted to calculate was a coefficient of variation. So we wanted to understand another way to look at the variability of our data, and so that, of course, is coefficient of variation. That is the standard deviation divided by the mean, or the average. So that simply equals standard deviation divided by, so you hit the divided by sign, by your average values, and simply hit enter. So our COV is 0.22 if you want to report that somewhere. So again, here are some simple Excel instructions or simple Excel functions that will help you out with homework number 2. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at droberson@utep.edu. And hopefully this has been helpful to you. Thank you.